Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest episode of Tales from Outer Space, taken from the subreddit HFY. The links to all the stories will be down below, and as always, I hope that you enjoy. And if you do, please consider subscribing.
Story number 1. The Law of Unintended Consequences, written by PhilattheGame. Many races of the civilized galaxy have a fear or distrust of humans. My kind, one of the oldest fears that one day the humans will achieve an understanding of space travel. It will allow them to colonize travel and fight wars without a long time between fights. Right now, it could take a human ship 5 years to get from one of their planets to the next. That keeps their growth in check. But what would happen if they had the ability to travel the same distance in a few months as many others do? It would most likely mean that they could spread unchecked. Despite our technological advantage, our strategies say that we would be combat ineffective within 2 years if the humans decided to go to war. How is this so? I'll tell you. My people, the Ajara here, has one of the best warships in the galaxy. It's sleek, maneuverable, capable of long-term flight, and boasts the third best shields. However, it only has 10 weapon emplacements, 4 missile tubes and 2 forward-facing plasma cannons, and 4 omnidirectional energy turrets, compared to the human ships. Their ships are blocky, slow and decent maneuverability, can't travel long distance unaided. That being said, the flagship of the humans has 12 missile tubes, 8 torpedoes, 20 AA guns, 20 AAA guns, 3 experimental plasma guns, probably improved since the war with the Grong. On top of all of that is the humans' one great equalizer, a railgun, capable of firing a dart straight through all known shields. 66 weapon emplacements. That's just the flagship. Some of their ships and their fleet have almost double that amount. Now, you see our predicament. My people have tried to limit human technological growth by refusing to trade in that area. But the majority of races in the galaxy fear the wrath of the humans too much to follow our example. Worse are the few races that have open trade with the humans. So far, no one has traded the all-important plans for a better FTR drive, but it would only be a matter of time. That's why when a new threat appears, I had an idea to hamper the humans. First, the new threat. At the edge of civilized space, a new race appeared. They came from the Vulpine heritage, which is strange in and of itself. As far as my kind knows, there hasn't been a Vulpine race achieving interstellar flight in history. Vulpine kind doesn't seem to get along well enough with their own kind. It hampers any growth. But this group has defied any known archetype, but that wasn't the important part. They were aggressive. Initial reports said that they were almost as aggressive as the humans, and there were a lot more of them than humans. Well, if you had your homeworld destroyed, you probably wouldn't have the numbers anymore. Already 2 of the Vulpine ships had clashed on the border patrol ships. There had been no recorded fatalities, but that was only a matter of time. When I heard the Vulpine people, we had a meeting with our allies. At first, there was talk of approaching the Vulpine as we did the humans, but I had a brilliant idea. What if I seeded the idea that the Vulpine group was too aggressive? If the humans and this Vulpine people fought each other, it could hamper their growth. Too busy fighting to make any significant advances. So, after the meeting, I had my agents work on making a dossier. It stated that the Vulpines had attacked helpless commercial shipping, and threatened to attack more if we didn't clear out of the sector. They had told us to stay out of the way, but the dossier would make the threat look a little bit more serious. When the Alliance read my report, they were rightly worried. That's when I gallantly suggested that we send the humans to deal with the problem. With the help of the Zindi, the only race with ships big enough to hold the human ships, the humans could hold the Vulpines. At first, no one was willing to take on action, but 2 more reports of attacks convinced everyone. Plus, the Zindi had territory near where the Volpine were operating. It was easy to convince them. So we sent a ship to the only known human settlement. We knew that they had at least 4 colonies, but the world's Hargrath was the only one that we knew for sure. The planet's original inhabitants were still there, but they were so backward they refused to grow in any way. They even welcomed the humans to live on their world. We met one of the leaders of the humans, a dark brown-skinned woman. We explained what was happening and the galaxy at large. To our surprise, his people couldn't participate, but he would get in contact with the other humans on the planet, and they would also send word to the other colonies. Knowing that it would take a while, I left the planet and ordered my second-in-command to take over. Then, to my surprise, 2 days later she called me back and said that the humans had agreed to help. Also, a fleet had been dispatched to meet the Zinda. How could they react so quickly? Well, sir, the humans have been running war games out of the Grand Jezadun Nebula, and our Dinizan trade ship happened to see them 5 days ago, and they were willing to go back and tell the humans what was going on, she explained. It was all happening too quickly. I had intended to place more evidence in the Volpine wrongdoing between meetings with the humans. It should have taken a couple years to get ready. But the Zinda were really worried and helped more than I would have expected. The Zinda were went as far as promising never to tell anyone where the planet was at, when the humans suggested going back to one of their colonies to get more ships. 5 months later, I was getting really worried. The humans had gathered 6 more ships, bringing the total to 25 ships. On top of that, the humans rolled out a brand new battleship, making it 26 ships. The task force would be commanded by Admiral Muhammad Ali, a descendant of some famous Earth fighter. With the fleet gathered and Zinda attached, they ferried the warships to the territory. Stupidly, in my opinion, Admiral Ali asked to be left off of the edge of Zinda space. It would take months for the ships to cross the necessary sectors. His enemies would see him coming. I was still uneasy about all of this, so I got on my ship and my sister ship and followed after the humans. For 3 agonizing months, we followed the slow humans. Near the end of the 3 months, a Volpine ship was spotted. The humans normally would have opened fire as soon as the target was in range, but they seemed to slow down and let the ship escape. Twice more, the ships of the Volpines appeared and marked their progress. Then, at the start of the 4th month, a small fleet of Volpine ships approached. 10 ships arranged themselves in a barrier. The human ships spread out. There was no way the Volpines could win this battle. And with much satisfaction, I sat back in my command chair and waited for the fighting to begin. And waited. And waited. What was going on? I looked at my second-in-command. I don't know, sir, she answered before I could talk. One of the comms officers suddenly looked up. Sir, the Ashamatals just said they're picking up some comm traffic. The humans are communicating with the opposing force. What? That's not how humans operate. I all but screamed. The humans were nothing but brutes, vicious killers. They don't just stop and talk to their enemies. We had only just started to listen in, but it already looked grim. They were getting along. Not only that, but the stupid Volpines had shown the humans that they didn't detect the trade ships in that sector, that they couldn't because their ships were just too slow to even catch the slowest of the trade ships. Admiral Ali ordered a stand down. I wanted to scream. The human flagship went into no man's land, and the flagship of the opposing force did likewise, and there was nothing that I could do about it. The 2 ships docked. I couldn't take it anymore and ordered my ships to retreat. Things only got worse from there. The humans contacted the Zinda and told them that peace had been made. The Volpine, which apparently had called themselves Hamir, had even agreed to stop expanding in the Zinda's direction. The admiral of the Volpine fleet ordered her other ships back, and she and her flagship followed Admiral Ali back towards Zinda space. Later, I learned that Ali and his person became friends. She even told him that she had fulfilled an old prediction, something about meeting people with similar hearts in such trouble. It all spiraled out of control, and the worst imaginable thing happened. Stupid effing humans made an alliance with the stupid effing Vulpines. Not only had my plans backfired, but the humans were now in a better position than when this all started. End of story number 1.
I hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider subscribing. If you wish to support the author, there is a link to the original story, so pop over there and give him your support. If you wish to support this channel, however, there are a few ways to do so. The best and easiest would be to share this video with other people, as well as liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. All of these things tell the algorithm that this channel is at least vaguely interesting, and that may share it with other people. If you wish to support the channel in some other manner, watching my other videos would also help tremendously. Or, if you really like, there is a link down below to leave a tip or to join the Patreon. Any and all support is very much appreciated. And I hope that you all have a good one until the next time, and I'll see you then. Cheers.